Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into my first ever consumer NAS, the UGREEN NASync DXP4800 Plus. So not only this was my first consumer NAS, but this was also my first Kickstarter purchase. So this has been a pretty exciting journey, also pretty nerve-wracking. So stay with me. We're gonna go a little deep into this NAS because I've had it for about a year now, probably longer than a year if I'm not mistaken. And we're gonna go over every detail. I'm not gonna spend too much time on the hardware because I already made a video comparing this to the DXP2800, but I'm gonna do a quick overview of the hardware one more time, and then we're gonna go really deep into the UGOS Pro software and see what makes this bad boy tick. All right, let's go. All right, so the DXP4800 Plus, it's UGREEN higher end 4-bay NAS. So there's two. Yeah, here's in the smaller brother, which is the DXP4800 without the Plus. And what separates these two is pretty much the 10 gigabit network, Ethernet port in the back. Instead of having two 2.5, this one has one 2.5 and one 10 gigabit network port, and also a beefier processor, okay, which is the Intel 8505. We'll get into that later. And also, this can support up to 64 gigabyte of DDR5 SODI memory, while the smaller brother can only handle up to 16 gig. They are both shipped with 8 gigabyte SODI memory. All right, so as far as the hardware, again, not spending too much time on here. We're gonna go very quick. So the front I/O, you got your power button. You do have your status light, your LAN light, which is the first one here, and also you have your disk lights. And this is your SD card slot. And you got right here, this is USB-C at 10 gigabit per second, and also you have a USB-A at 10 gigabit per second. Okay, so we're gonna flip it. Look at the back of it. This thing is pretty heavy because I have all the drives still in there. All right, so quickly in the back, you do have your little dust cover here, protecting your 120 millimeter fan that's pulling air from the back towards the front to cool the drives. A little dusty there, buddy. Okay. And like I mentioned before, you do have your two Ethernet port. This is 2.5 and this is a 10 gigabit. You got your reset pin hole and your power barrel jack port here. All right. Back here you got two USB 2.0, and also you have another USB-A, which is Gen 3.2. Also at, I think this one runs at 5 gigabit per second instead of 10. And then you also have your HDMI, which can do 4K 60. So, and then nothing on the side, nothing on the top, and then also on the bottom. All right, you do have your QR code. If you want to go ahead and you scan this and quickly get access to set up your NAS. And underneath this cover, we are going to see our NVMe SSDs and our RAM. So, like I said, it does ship with one stick of RAM, which is 8 gigabyte. So I added another one. So I gotta just take the one out and see which one it is so you can purchase a similar RAM. So right now I'm running 16 gigabyte, but this can go up to 64. Okay, and underneath those pads are my two Team Group 1 gigabyte SSD NVMe. So I'm running two, and I'm running them as SSD cache. And that's it for here. Let's cover back. So yeah, so pretty simple. So I know you may have this question burning in the back of your head, right? This is my first NAS. Why did I pick this NAS, right? So good question, right? And again, I took the leap of faith, did a Kickstarter with it. I did save $100. I'm not gonna lie. So I purchased this for $484. Right now it's at $594. So $110. Okay. So look at it. This thing look amazing. It looked like nothing else out there. Like I've seen NAS before. Like I've always been running like more like server hardware. Like I still have them in my rack. I have a couple Dell PowerEdge R720s. I've been running TrueNAS scale. I've been running Unraid. But I had to decommission my home lab, so I had to resort to this for the time being. And I was looking, and this thing kept popping up. I mean, they were very aggressive with their marketing. And I'm like, this is, look, the bold letters. The bold numbers here, like military style, look like something from a bunker. Like, this is amazing. So you can't, honestly, you just can't beat that. This thing look amazing. We are visual creatures. We can't help it. So I know I couldn't. So I saw this thing and I'm like, oh, I gotta get this. I have to get this. And I've been pretty happy so far, right? Again, I purchased this myself. There's thousands of reviews of this thing. It's still popping up. It amazes me. But almost 99% of them are sponsored reviews. I think I only found one channel besides me, and they were a big channel, but they said they do not take sponsored review for NAS because they mostly do servers and stuff. But which I respect that. But everybody and their mama got one of those. So again, I've seen a couple. I mean, everybody got their own opinion, but again, I'm just gonna tell you how it is, and to me, it's I sure don't know what to explain. It's till today, I think I made a good choice, and this may not spend too much time with because I'm gonna build my own personal NAS, but for the time being, it's been great, and it has done what it's supposed to be. So I'm gonna give you my opinion as somebody who purchased this as a NAS, but you can consider me as a beginner, right? So, like I said, this one costs $594 at the time of this recording, because things can change. But if you don't need the 10 gigabit network, if you don't need the extra horsepower, you can get the DXP4800 for $499, about $100 less. Okay, so, and this one is powered by the Intel Pentium Gold processor 8505. It's a 5-core, 6-thread CPU with 1 performance core and 5 efficiency cores, clocking at 3.3 gigahertz on efficiency mode and a whopping 4.4 gigahertz on performance mode. Okay, with a base TDP of 15 watt, very good, and also max turbo TDP of 55 watt. So it's very, very power efficient. Depends on how you want it within the software, which you will see you have different mode you can put it. You can put it on efficient mode, balance, and performance. Wow. So again, it is paired with UGREEN's very own software, which is the UGOS Pro. Okay, and that's what I want to focus on today, because like I said, I've did quite an overview of this hardware before, and really it's a NAS. It's not much to see here. Okay, and so we're gonna focus on the software. So we're gonna see how well the software works, especially for someone who's new to the whole NAS environment. Okay, and so we pretty much done here on the hardware part. So I'm gonna put this back together. We're gonna fire it up, and we're gonna jump it into the computer and take a look at the UGOS Pro. See, now if it was your grandpa old NAS, you wouldn't even know which way these drives go back into the system, right? But you got you covered, right? They got the numbers right there for you. So So yeah, pretty awesome, man. Like I said, I really like this NAS, but it is not perfect, as you will see. I mean, nothing is, but it's a great effort. It's a great. This is how you enter a market, right? Especially when you're new to it, right? And I'm sure Synology and QNAP, they were shaking in their boots when they see UGREEN came out with this. And this is so far very successful. You know, I hate to say it, and I don't regret ever buying it. The only NAS I had in mind was a Asus store. Yeah, some Asus store, Locker, whatever the name of that thing was. That's the one with a little screen on top that gives you the IP address and stuff. Again, I think it was more money than this. So I'm happy with this purchase so far. But we're gonna look at really what drives this thing, the software. We're gonna see what's good about it and what's also bad about it. All right, so stay with me. So this is pretty much the boot up sequence of the UGREEN NAS. A bit noisy, and you can hear the drives going to town right now. But that's as expected when you're running old school mechanical drives. But besides that, it's pretty much quiet. You can look at your activity lights. All right. So we are here at phase 2 of our review. So this go around, we are going to take a look at the UGOS Pro software, which is the heartbeat of the UGREEN NAS. But before we get there, I wanted to do something a little bit different, because we talk about the hardware. We're getting into the software, but I want it to be, like I said, I want this to be a full review. So I wanted to show you guys, if you purchase one of these, how do you set it up? So I do love you guys, but unfortunately I'm not going to reset my NAS or go through the whole process again. But I will show you how UGREEN make this very easy. It's one of the other props I give them as well. So it seems they came ready. They really came ready. So how you start? You start by or you can also take a scan the QR code on the bottom of your NAS and do it to your mobile phone or tablet, or you can go jump right on the computer like I'm about to do now to set it up. So first and foremost, we are going to the UGREEN NAS website, right? UGREEN.com, and right up there you're gonna see it says UGREEN NAS on the top left. So we're gonna click on that. It's gonna open a whole new page for us, and there you can take the time and browse this page. There's a lot of good information you can find here. I already know at this point you bought your NAS, you want to go and set it up. However, if you go on on the product, you can get all the details. So this is the NAS we are talking about, the DXP4800 Plus. You see the current price, $594.99. which is supposedly says supposed to be $700, right? Oof, that's a lot of money. Oh, I didn't see there's an option you can get with a UPS. What? Okay now. I see you, Green. How much that's gonna cost you? Okay, about $100 more to get the UPS. So I may look into that because I've been having a lot of little, power surges out here. So okay, let's get back on track. So right here you got a little video. What is a NAS? So you can go through that and you get all the specs about whatever particular NAS you're looking for. You want to purchase if you were looking for one. All right, so right there we're gonna jump to support and we're gonna hover down to quick start guide. Once you get here, so you see there he says a beginner's guide for the NASync series. So technically this is your one-stop shop when it comes to setting up your NAS. You got a big exclamation mark here about upgrade system. You really don't have to worry much about it because once you set this up, once you go ahead and connect it to the LAN, right, you got power, it will start doing the update automatically. Okay, so you can get the latest firmware for your NAS. So if it doesn't do it, you can also come in and do it manually. Okay, she even showed you a little video here how to perform a system for firmware upgrade. Okay, so now we're going down. This is unboxing, getting started. He shows you everything that comes in the box in case you are missing something. All right, so this is where we need to be. So before you start, so it tells you that before you go to start a network, to connect to the network, you got to install your hard drives. If you want to upgrade your memory like I did, you go ahead and do that. You want to add some SSD, go ahead and do that. Okay, and so you got two options. You have a 3.5 inches hard drive, or you got the 2.5 inch drives. So as you click either one, it shows you a whole different setup. For example, the 2.5 inch drives, it is toolless, right? You get the tray out, push the button, pull the slide out, put the drive in, lock it back in, and you're done. So if you're using 2.5 inch drives, SSDs or hard drives, you need the included screws that came in a package, as you need to go ahead and apply the 4 screws on the bottom of the drive. Okay, and from there you go ahead and insert the drive back into the chassis. You close them. Here it shows you lock them. Again, it based on your environment. If it's work, an office, you may want to lock it. You don't want people tampering with your drives, especially if you're using as an NVR, recording videos, so important data or very important data, you want to lock it. So if you're at home too, you have kids, and they like, if it's at their reach and they can pop it open and remove a drive, please lock it. Yes, it is hot swappable. It's not going to damage if they remove the drive, but again, you still don't want that, okay? Especially if your drive's on the last leg, yeah, that might be an excuse for them to take the easy route out, okay? And now you're going to be scrambling by trying to reconstruct your data. So yeah, and then up here's optional installation. So it's the RAM stick if you're adding any more RAM, if you're upgrading your RAM. Remember, if you have a DXP4800, it only takes one. It only has a one RAM slot. One RAM slot. So if you're upgrading from the 8 gigabyte to 16, you have to purchase one 16 gigabyte sodium to replace this. Now, if you have the big boys, they take 2 slots, and you can put either 2.8, 216, because they can go up to 64. However you wanna go ahead and do it. And if you click on M.2, just like I showed in the other video, yeah, you flip it upside down, you remove that door, and you can install your 2 M.2s. Okay, and then once you get all that done, so you go ahead and connect it to the power, and also connect your Ethernet jack, Ethernet cord to the jack. So you can either connect it if you have a wall jack like in this video, or you can connect it to a switch. So, and that way it should go ahead and discover it. So okay. Also, you gotta choose if you're gonna use the mobile. Like I said, where you can take a picture of the QR code. You can scan the QR code on the bottom of the system, which is pretty simple. You follow what the prompt that's right on screen. It just walk you through it. It's a lot easier for me if you knew, and everybody got their mobile phone handy anyway. But if you choose the PC route, you're going to have to click on. You have to go in and click on that link, or so right here, it's asking you to log in, right? So whatever login you created for the NAS, not the one using the email, that's the one you going. That's your administrator login right here. Okay. So if this doesn't work, your next option is to actually go ahead and download the actual app, which is right down here, so which is the client. Okay, and then that one will for sure get you connected. Okay, so well, as you can see down here, it shows you as well that it will come up with both NAS, which is pretty interesting. I didn't get that when I did it the first time. So yeah, so you can give the device a name, like I call mine Lucky NAS is my nickname. So, and I'm the local administrator. And then later on, you can go ahead and bind it. Like I said, you have two different accounts. One is the email, right? And also one will be the local administrator that to control and gives you remote access to the NAS and stuff like that. And yeah, that's about it. Again, it's pretty self-explanatory. If you follow this to the T, you are definitely for sure be able to set up this NAS probably within 10-15 minutes and get going. So yeah, all right, so we're done with this. Let's move on to the real deal. We're gonna fire up the UGOS Pro and see what it is. There she is. Okay, so now we are in the UI of the UGOS Pro. So it's a lot to do, a lot to see here. All right. Again, it's nothing crazy, nothing different from your usual desktop. Okay. So when you're booting, to the UGOS Pro for the first time, actually when I booted it the first time, I was very surprised, right? The interface is very modern, not what I'm used to. If you run TrueNAS, if you run Unraid and this other software, they look totally different. This is give you more of a desktop approach, right? Very friendly, like look clean, look modern, very approachable, not intimidating at all, unlike these other software, right? So, and if you're new to a NAS system, this is what you want, right? You want something that's easy, that's understandable. You don't want to spend too much time trying to figure things out, okay? So that's a big plus using this NAS. And so I know when I first got down, like, ooh, I thought I was gonna feel a bit wanting more from this software, but nah, it was straightforward. And like I said, the setup wizard walked me through everything I needed to do, creating an account, network setting, and it wasn't overwhelming at all. Okay, so keep in mind that UGREEN has developed the UGOS Pro. It's an in-house software, and it's based on Debian 12, which was the most current release until Debian 13 came out on August 9 this year, and then it just got an update September 6. So not sure what UGREEN will do with that, but again, this is technically it's an overlay on top of Debian 12. Okay, so where do we start? It's a lot. Okay, first of all, let's go the easy route. like I said, this is like having your own personal computer. So you can do right click, you hit personal, and like I said, this is a wallpaper. All right, and you can customize. You can put whatever wallpaper you want. You can put your picture of your dog, cat, whatever pet you got, and you can have it fit, stretch, center, tile, ever you want. It's have it your way. All right. Then you get the other tab. You got language and format. Tons of languages you can pick. The different formats. Tons of format. Date format you can pick. Only 2 time format we have. So, and also you only got 2 temperature unit. And we always keep things Celsius in the computer world. Make things easy. Make things more scientific. Menu bar. Oh, actually, the menu bar is right on top on the right here. Okay. As you can see, I did not select everything because I didn't want it to be too busy. You have connection mode and also you have search. If I hit apply, these two will pop up right there. Again, don't see nothing to search. Everything is laid out here. I can get everything I want pretty quick and easy. Connection mode doesn't do nothing, but if you hover your mouse over it, it's just going to show you your IP address. I don't care for that. We can turn that off. Apply. Now they disappeared. Alright, so we're done with the personal aspect of this NAS. Gonna close it. Alright, so we're gonna go back in the status bar. So first thing we have to look here, I really like this. This was implemented midway to the life cycle of this software. It was never there. I would say the whole top, instead of the last 3, these 2 are pretty new. If you double click here, it will pop up your task manager. So again, it's a lot of redundancy here. So again, so it's another way to go to task manager, or you can click on the icon down here for task manager. Okay. So here you got overview of everything, your hardware. So got your temperature, CPU temperature, your utilization rate. We got 17%. I'll show you why in a minute. So you're really at about 1 or 2%, but I'm running a couple containers that are really ramping up the CPU. But when I turn them off, you see how it's gonna go down. I don't recommend using heavy containers on here because the CPU again, what is it? 5 cores, 6 threads. It's decent, but not great for running VMs and containers. Alright, you're taking a lot of resources away from what the NAS is actually meant to do by just running VMs on it. Alright, if you want to do that, you just build your own NAS and start with an 8-core CPU and up. Alright, and also you need more than 16 gigabyte of RAM. Alright, so so this is our hard drives. I took them out earlier so you can see them. 10 terabyte, 4 terabyte, 4 terabyte, 3 terabyte. You see the temperatures right there in the middle, and on the bottom are my 2 NVMe what I'm using as cache. They both 1 terabyte NVMe. Okay, and also you see the temperature, utilization rate in the middle, and also the different read and write speeds. And down up there you have different tabs. I don't really go too much in details with them. You got GPU, CPU, memory, the network, hard drive, and volume. The last one. Now this is the service and processes we got going on here. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. So that's it for the task manager. Then here you got your widgets. Okay. So it gives you the how the system is running, it's normal, online duration. Remember, I just took it off to do the hardware review, so it's been on for about 34 minutes now. And then this is again what we just saw, CPU and memory. Again, a lot of redundancy here. Keep just repeating themselves. Your volume. But again, if you don't want to click into any specific, you want to go to your storage or control panel, you can see these things right here. Alright, over here's your task center. The task center is where your different upload and download, right? they stay here until you, there's something that say clear completed tasks. They stay up here until you clear. See, now I got a couple fail. I'm gonna go ahead and delete them all. So, and then you got files, and you got, so right here, see, perfect, clear completed tasks. There you go. And then others. So again, this is your task center. Here is your notification center. Boom, boom, boom. Just to show you guys, I added an external storage, so we're gonna take a look at that. And VR install and stuff like that. I'm no more shutdown. Yeah, you see why I say that? I need that UPS, man. So, and then up here it says me. Okay, me. Yours truly. Let's click on it. All right. So we have zoom and zoom in. All right. Them glasses are not doing you good. If you want to see them icons a little bit bigger, give it about 110. I can go back further down 100, but 110 sounds good for me. Again, that's personal again, the same one we clicked on earlier. Client version, your preference if you add any. Right here's where you can reboot the system or shut it down. Like I just did earlier, I shut it down so I can unplug everything and make a quick video for you guys. Here you can switch account and then you can log out of the system. So that's it for the status center. Okay, so now let's get to the easy part. Some of these apps I'm not going in depth in them. Some of them are just there for testing. I'm not really using them. So, and I'll do a quick video on the mobile device so you can see how cool it is on the mobile app. It's really, really nice. And I'll go to some of them in depth in there because it feels like most suited for mobile. For example, theater and music. Again, it's what? So I upload a couple movies and shows just to see how it works. So as you can see here, but again, I haven't said anything. I have no favorite, no folder. I just uploaded things to play and see how it is. Again, pretty cool. But again, I'm not using the computer to watch anything. Obviously, it's probably on my phone, right? So, see right here, you get your, because the things, a lot of them were for mobile anyway. So you can see it gives you your, you get your title, year, and also your resolution right on top, okay? So close out of this. Music is the same thing. Again, that's some of the newest app that I just got downloaded. You got, and when you click on those, they open on a different, they will open on a different page, right? So.
All right, guys.
So they open on a different page. Wow, why did I open this? Okay, let's close this. Jesus. Alright, sorry about that. Yeah, so yeah, when you do this, they'll open on a different page, right? If I try to run Home Assistant, it'll be the same. So photos, self-explanatory, click on it, you got your photos, okay? And they are by most recent, okay? Home Assistant 5, those are Docker. So for those that are familiar with Docker, yep, you can run Docker on this. I'm running, I'm running 8 containers. Oh, yeah, that's why. Yeah, normally once you restart the system, it runs all the containers. Yeah, yay. Okay, like I said, a lot of them I'm gonna, especially Jellyfin, you see how Jellyfin is taking, oh, cool. Pay attention to this, right? So Jellyfin is taking about 17% of my CPU resources, right? Everybody else will just at 1%. Now, very greedy, Jellyfin, very greedy of you. Try to set it up, didn't come out good. Again, and when I really fully set it up, it was taking about 90% of my CPU resources, so I had to turn it up. So, okay, pay attention to up here, right? So in total, it's taking about between 18 and 19%, right? But pay attention to this. Look at the needle, right? There's a gauge here, how it's like about less than a quarter, about 1/8, right? You see right there. So, and the RAM is there because the RAM also is about 24%. We're gonna turn off. I'm gonna shut down Jellyfin, right? I'm gonna confirm. Boom. Watch what's gonna happen to this. Well, even hovering the mouse on it and stuff. Wait till Jellyfin stop completely. Boom, goes down. You see? It goes all the way down to like almost like 0. So right now it's at about 4.5, very low. And again, I'm turning off a lot of these. I don't usually run them. And also, once you turn them off, they're gonna disappear also from your home page right here, all right, from the desktop. Only thing I'm leaving is Home Assistant. Everybody else can go bye bye. All right, and Easy NVR, because I haven't tested that one yet. Firefox, man, get out of here. As you can see, right, they're disappearing one by one. They're coming off here. All right. So again, downside of the UGOS Pro, not too many applications. Let's go ahead and check. Before I get off of here, one last thing. Again, if you went to Docker, you can go to the image database. Tons and tons and tons and tons of containers you can install. All the big boys are here. Okay, VisiBox, you got Ubuntu, Python, you name it, Node, they're all here. You got that 125, actually 2,500. I'm sorry, 2,500 items. So that's a lot. I can't even get to all of them. So again, the world is your oyster with this. So all right, getting off Docker. I know it's not for everyone. So sorry it's taking too long on that. I'm just excited. All right. So what else we say we're gonna talk about? Okay, we take pictures, files. Again, self-explanatory. It's gonna be all your file, your documents can have to be. You have storage. I give you an overview of the story, but again, you can also go to Task Manager and see that a lot of redundancy. Show the volume. I'll be using 3 terabyte out of the 8.1. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see what else we have here. Interesting. Click on storage. Oh, yeah. So, shows you that I'm using SSD cache. All right. This is my storage pool. I'm using RAID 5 on my storage pool. For the SSD, obviously it's 2. You can only use RAID 0.1, and I'm using RAID 1 for that. Okay. You can organize your storage pool. Last time I did that was back in July. Wait, no, that's June. Sorry. And then click on hard drive, my different drives. So SSD cache 1, SSD cache 1. Oh, real quick, you don't have to do cache with the SSDs. Actually, in the beginning, I had 2 terabyte Samsung 990 Pros, and I was using them as a storage pool. So I had a storage pool 1, and then the hard drives was storage pool 2. So you have that option, but for the sake of speed, for reliability, for consistency, I always suggest just run your cache. Okay, let the cache do all the heavy lifting, the work, and later on at the leisure, they'll transfer your data back to your good old clunkers back here. External storage, so I added one just for you guys to see. Woof, 81%. I need a bigger boy. So again, this is an external storage. It's just a Samsung T7, right? And if you add a 5 terabyte back there, but it started giving me problems, I have to take it out. But you can automate a backup to back up your data from the NAS to an external storage, which is awesome, right? So once you set up different scheduling for it, it will do its own thing whenever you set it up. Okay. All right. So this was storage, App Center. All right. Not much to see here. Same app that I have running here. So as you can see, someone says enable. Again, those are all your containers. So I can enable them right from here, or I can go into Docker and enable them. But as you can see, they're taking a lot of the resources, especially that Jellyfin guy, and I don't have time for that. So really, I'm just running Home Assistant. For now, until I find somewhere else, I'm waiting for my Zimo board 2 to come so I can run my Assistant on it, because you are very limited when you run a Home Assistant as a container, right? Certain things you cannot do. All right, so get off of that. Security, again, there's a protection here, full scan. I don't even know if I ever use this, to be honest with you. One thing I want to mention is, if you're gonna use a NAS, just be aware. If you open your NAS to the world, you open it to the internet where you can do your, SMB shares and your remote access to upload your pictures. Be very careful. Use a VPN, use Tailscale, whatever you want to use, port forwarding. I do not care. Just you have to protect your data. Don't open it to the world, and just leave it like that, vulnerable for anybody to come in, check out the pictures you took last summer. Okay, so be very careful, be very mindful of that. You got Vault. All right. I downloaded it because, like I said, everything I see, I download them just for testing. I haven't put anything in there. Again, it's an extra layer of protection for you, for your data. So I suggest, if you have some very sensitive data, go ahead and use it, or if you're sharing this with somebody else, and because you can have shell folders, you can have other users, but you just remain the local administrator of the NAS. Right, so usually the other users cannot see any of these. They will only see whatever you want them to see, which is mostly whatever shell folder they are assigned to see. Okay, File Version Explorer. Yeah, see, there's nothing there. So you got Universal Search. Second backup. Right, let's take a look at this. So again, I got my iPhone 16 Pro Max. Let me go ahead and launch the app on there, so you should see it turn on in about a minute, or less than a minute. Oh, I gotta log in on there too. Give me a second. Hi. All right, so I just launched the app on the mobile app. Let's wait. Oh, that was pretty fast. So there you go. So this is my main computer, Snow White, and my iPhone. So those are my two devices that I have synced to this NAS. Again, I got the computer connected so they're on the same. They are on the same. On the same switch, and that's a 10 gigabit switch. So, but again, that's one thing I want to mention. Another con, that 10 gigabit is very lackluster. There's so many bottlenecks, I can't even saturate that 10 gigabit, even though I'm using SSD cache. So, big downfall. If you buy this for the 10 gigabit, you're going to be very disappointed. Okay. You got sync here. You can sync this with another NAS. So, you use a backup of a backup of a backup, following the 3-2-1 method of your backup, which is a good thing. Backup and restore. And then your log. Boom, boom, boom. All right, speed limit, right? Yeah, it sounds like a highway. So everything is there, set up phone limited. So again, it's up to you if you want to limit the speed between your devices to the NAS. So that's up to you. Okay, next, SAM Manager. That's also pretty new. This is where you can set up your iSCSI drive. Pretty amazing. We're waiting for this. So UGREEN finally listened, and they did it. So iSCSI, right, allows you to mount a drive into your computer from the NAS, right? But this drive is set up as a local drive, not a network drive, okay? Pretty cool. Downside of iSCSI, yeah, local drive. You get the speed, you get all the good stuff having a drive locally, but it's assigned to this specific machine. Right now, Snow White is the one that has iSCSI. If I go on my laptop, because it's not a network drive, I won't be able to see it. So keep that in mind. So has a good side and also has a major downside. We want security, we want theater, cloud drives. Have you used that? No. So that's where you can create some connections in your cloud drive and UGREEN NAS. I haven't played with that yet. Not Not sure if I care about it for the moment. I think I'm good. Control panel. Yeah, perfect. So let's go to that. So this pretty much gives you an overview of the entire system, right? So you can check your network, security, time and language. A lot of things we already seen in different, applications. Again, the redundancy is so crazy here. Hardware and power is going there. So there's a lot of stuff you can do in here. Okay, you can get your fan. You can go quiet mode, full power, default. Just leave it default. It doesn't bother me. Down an LED indicator, right? So I put them down to 50% brightness. Again, don't care too much. By the way, you can schedule them when you want them to be brighter. If you have nighttime, different days. Well, I think it's just days. Sorry, I don't think there's time on there. Yeah, so pretty awesome. Power management. I'm using this on high performance because I've noticed if you go ahead and put it, I got it. I'm gonna go on balance right now. Okay, I'm gonna drop it down a little bit. But if you go energy saving, it will run very, very slow. And I've noticed that even with the loading data, like from my phone, oh my God, snail mode. Don't do it. Don't do it. So, memory compression. I'm not sure why I did. I just turned it on because I think I have enough memory. And if I really need, I could upgrade them to 32 gigabyte. But we do it just to play with it. Okay. Update and restore. We're on the latest version. Let's make sure it's still updated. Okay. You can factory reset it right here. You can reset the network right here. Configuration, backup and restore. Okay. Cloud backup, local backup, whatever you want to do. Again, this is right here. If you want to take complete control of the NAS, you come right here and get it done. Okay, so all right, so we're gonna get out of this. All right, universal search. I'm sure it's that same search bar that was up there, the status. So logs again. All those things are so redundant. They keep popping up here. Virtual machine. I'm not running a virtual machine again. Not the hardware for that. Not at all. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't put too much pressure on that CPU. Okay, let it breathe. Text edit. Again, things I don't really go mingle with. Okay, DLNA. Blah blah blah. Not using that. Okay. We went to App Center. We did, I think we did storage already. Yeah. So it's just a different layout. And so yeah, it's pretty much it. Like I said, here. Oh yeah, so this is pretty much like a version of Windows. I'm sorry, Word, I should say. Yeah, this is a version of Word. This is pretty cool. And yeah, if you want to type something and save it right here, but yeah, it says right there, content saved from other apps in real time, blah blah. So it gives you a little warning here, so keep that in mind, so you don't start a little project or your homework, whatever it is you're doing, and lose your stuff. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. Let's go back to personal. Okay, if you click here, you can change this wallpaper. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. And also you can get it from the NAS or you can get it from your computer. However, there are tons of default wallpaper ready for you to use. But what do you notice there, right? Yeah, you're right. Those are the Windows wallpaper. That's right there for you, for your own pleasure. And I'm sure we're all tired of seeing them. For all the years Windows been using them, I'm thinking this thing exists since Windows 10, and they carried over to Windows 11. So it's time for Windows. We need some new wallpapers because we're sick and tired of these things. All right, boom, and let's see. I think I covered everything. Oh, one cool thing. If you open an application, right? Let's say we open Control Panel. You look at the top left, it show up right here, right? Because if you minimize it, it disappears. There's no way you can search it or go get it. But if you go back right up here, click on it, it will reappear. If we click on storage now, we have storage showing up there as well. Okay, let's do one more. Which one that's gonna show up here? All right, let's do Docker. Boom, Docker up here. So if I minimize all of them, the only way to get access to them is go right back up there, right? And they will come right back up, you know. And also that's the way. And also when you click on them, right, you see they have a little indicator underneath them. If I minimize them, Docker, it doesn't. It shows you it's up there, but it's been minimized. If I minimize storage, the indicator is going on the bottom, right? But as you can see, it's still under control panel. If I bring storage back up, boom, the indicator shows right back underneath it. Pretty cool. I know you may overlook this. You may don't think it's necessary, but it's awesome. And wherever you are, whatever you're doing, if I blow this up, right, this always stay up there for me to see what's going on. If I want to go back, I can click that little screen here and return me right back to the desktop. And it takes you desktop with everything minimized, right? If I click here, 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 back to desktop, everything's gone, right? Pretty awesome. And now you click on my apps, it's just all your apps on a different layout, and you can search. I'll go right here. Redundancy. I don't know how many times I have to repeat this. So, and again, you want to get out of this, you click anywhere, boom, and you get right back out on the main page. So, again, I don't want to sit there and spend too much time on here. That is it, ladies and gents. Again, pretty straightforward system. If you use a computer before, if you use any operating system, again, this is Debian 12. Right, it's a little, outdated Linux kernel, but it does look good. All right, it does what it's supposed to do. And so again, the good things is you got a good file manager that feels like you're browsing your own PC. Okay, you have a good app center, right? We can use Jellyfin. Yeah, it's lacking on the actual application that UGREEN could have worked on for you, but the fact that they give you Docker, yeah, I know not too many people gonna be into it. It's still appreciated, okay? And a decent backup and sync tools that make it easy to connect to like different cloud services like Google Drive and OneDrive if you have those. But to me, the whole point of having a NAS is getting rid of cloud services, so I don't see the point of that. So performance wise, it's handle everything well. Like you said, unless you're pushing it, like I showed before with Jellyfin and stuff, it does what it's supposed to do. Like I've tested Jellyfin, I've done 4K playback, and it handled everything. It didn't feel bloated, right? And again, being a first push into the NAS market, that UGREEN have done a phenomenal job. Very reliable system, very reliable software. Okay, so I'm sure it may not be as feature rich like the other guys like Synology, QNAP, and everything, but it's holding its own. It's holding its own, and I have to respect that. So again, being my first Kickstarter project, I wasn't sure what to expect, right? But everything was smooth. I did get my product on time, and also big disclaimer. There's always a bit of risk when backing up something on Kickstarter. So I'm not promoting Kickstarter. I'm not promoting anything. I pay my own money for these things. I'm just giving you guys my honest review of the product. You buy whatever NAS you want to, whatever fits your budget. You don't have to buy UGREEN. There's a lot of different NAS out there. I don't know nothing about them. I never owned them. Okay, I just have UGREEN. Okay, that's what I have, and that's what I make a review of. So I took a leap of faith with them, and it paid off. It paid off really great. I'm not complaining. Okay, so, but I definitely had to say this. But so, is this a NAS for you? I don't know. It's up to you to make your own judgment to see if you in the market looking for a NAS, is this NAS will fit your need and your budget. Okay, so before I go, like I said, I'm gonna go over on one final time the little pros and cons of this entire unit, right, including software and hardware. So if you're a first time NAS user, right, like I said, I'm consider myself a first time user because it's my first time using a consumer NAS. The UGOS Pro, it's easy. It's easy to get into. Very friendly layout. Okay, if you use a Windows computer, if you use any tech, you should have no issue getting getting acquainted with this. Okay, it's very user friendly OS. Okay, if you're a media enthusiast, yeah, you can use Jellyfin. You can use different things. I don't recommend them, but again, they are there for you to use. If you're a small office, yeah, very good backup. Very good backup system for you. You can pop a couple 22 terabyte drives in there. You have you have data for days. Okay. Again, it has a very decent processor with iGPU, pre-installed 8 gigabyte of RAM, and can go up to 64 gigabyte. That's a big plus. Compatible with most HDDs and SSDs. You can use Seagate. You can use Western Digital. You can use Toshiba. Right, and I'm looking at you, Synology. Yeah, so you're not locked in to use a certain brand drives, and then okay, so cons, yeah, a small library of native applications. I just mentioned that, okay, but again, Docker can rectify this if you're into it, okay, and also you can run this if you don't like this software. I forgot to mention that you can run your own software. You can run TrueNAS unrated in this bad boy. That's up to you. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. I think I have Unraid using on another system, and I'm gonna have TrueNAS on my next NAS. So I'm gonna leave this little software because I like it. Okay, so and again, even though yeah, it's been a year, so UGOS Pro still, again, still have room to grow. Okay, it can get better. All right, because we don't have volume encryption. So and some of the minor features that are still missing. Okay, it doesn't support ZFS file system. Okay, and like I mentioned ago, again, we need more native application where it doesn't need to run on a Docker container. So it will. This is definitely discouraging for newcomers into the NAS system that wants to get into NAS. All right. All right. Final thoughts. I think I blabbed too long. Let me get out of here. So if you enjoyed this review, drop a like, subscribe for more tech content. Let me know in the comment section. Have you tried? Do you own any UGREEN NASync system? You own any of them? The XP 2800, 4800, 60, any of the big boys? Or are you a Synology guy or gal, a QNAP, or the brand? I would love to hear your thoughts, and thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. All right, ladies and gentlemen. When I thought I was done, I'm back here again. Okay, I did mention about the mobile application, so I have to get in there real quick, but this is about a couple minutes long. And so this is what you're looking at right now. It's the album backup, right? It's backing up pictures and videos. And you can see how fast it's backing it up. I think I went back on balance instead of performance. So you probably could go a little faster. And keep in mind, I'm using an iPhone 16 Pro Max, and I'm on a Wi-Fi 7 on Ubiquiti, and I have a fiber connection with AT&T, which is 1 gig download and 1 gig upload. So your mileage may vary, depends on your network connection, the device you're using, all those variables will come to play. Okay, so as you can see, it's really, really fast. Um, One thing I will say, I don't know if it's user error. I've been looking how to do it. It doesn't automatically do it on its own. You have to, well, every time you go in the app, that's when they start uploading photos, I mean, your album. So I don't know why it just doesn't do it on the background, even though I selected It gives you the option there. It is selected to be done on the background, but it doesn't do it. It is what it is. Pretty much been used to it by now. So back I did it again. So this is now an overview of the app itself. As you can see, pretty much almost the same layout as the PC, but here you see, I'm right here. I'm getting the device information, and the way you navigate, you can swipe from the corner of the screen. Swipe left to go back. You can swipe right, and also as you can see the layout here, I have different tabs, which I'll show you in a minute how you can set this page up. But you can remove all of these if you don't want to remove the music, the theater. As you can see, you get a nice preview of the thumbnail, unlike the PC. All right, and you get your resources right there. And first of all, look at album in the middle, right? And for some reason, it doesn't show the thumbnail, even though photos. So I don't know what it is, but if you tap on it, it's take you right back to the photo. You can you could do the same thing by just tapping the photo app right on top. So we're gonna go ahead and remove that. Okay. By the way, you see, get your volume, capacity. So you want more information about the disks, all this thing I showed you earlier, right? On Task Manager, you get then into the same exact thing. Um, Pretty cool layout. And then as you can see, you can get your fan speed, fan information. This is just playing around, just so I get to go back and forth with this. So right here on the homepage management, you can go ahead and add things or remove things. Actually, I've added everything that you can add to this. And you can also move them up and down, depends how you want them to be laid out. So right here, I think I'm going to go ahead and remove photos, right? Because it's kind of redundant and use this. I don't really be going in photos on there anyway. So yeah, so I remove it. So when I go back to the homepage, it should not be there as one of my tile. Yep. So now it's gone. Okay. Yeah. So you can move this up and down based on like I said, the information I don't really care for, I put them in the bottom. Okay. Yeah. This is it. It's pretty much the same apps, full layout. All right. Peace out.